Hello, and welcome to Question in a Bottle. In this series of short discussions, private investor Mark Atkinson answers questions sent in by listeners and subscribers to his main podcast, The Desert Island Investor. So, let's take a look and see what's in the bottle that washed up on the beach today.
Right, Paul, this is a question from Martin Booth, and Martin is somebody that I know personally, and he's the steward, and a very good one, at the Cheveley Road Club in Newmarket, and non-members are made to feel very welcome. Newmarket is a place that I tend to stay at 2 or 3 times per year. It's very close to 2 of my holdings, Tristel and Titan, and have used it as a stop-off when on other visits. And Martin asked, what is your favourite stock? I'll not answer this directly in that it could be both a very short podcast and also it's a very difficult question to answer by identifying just a single stock. In truth, the answer should be that, just like your children, you shouldn't have a favourite. Humans, however, are not machines and we are a flawed species, and I cannot deny that some shares, some stocks provide a greater interest and a greater attachment than others, and I would suspect that this is the same with many other investors. Self-awareness is a great quality. There is that saying, you can love a share but it can't love you back, and also I've said before, a stock does not know that you own it. So regarding favourites, should I say Tesco? Because this is my longest held business. It's now over 20 years. However, this is in the context of a wider portfolio and how Tesco complements it. It's like constructing a football team. Strikers score the goals and command the highest transfer values and salaries, but no team fields 11 strikers. I build my portfolio, my team, from the back. The goalkeeper and defenders and the holding midfielder. Very often the longest serving player at a football club is that central defender. Is he the favourite player? Perhaps surely it should be my largest holding, Me Group. This is around 15% of the portfolio. This has been my largest contributor to the portfolio in recent years. My last 3 editions were in the 70 pences and it's trading at around 3 times that. People often want to know your largest holding, thinking this is your best idea with your most conviction. And investors sometimes replicate portfolios of other investors or funds using the same weightings. You often find somebody's top holdings are there by virtue that they've had a stellar run. And this may have been a combination of an improvement in circumstances and a re-rating by the market, and this can have quite a magnifying effect. This share may have had its spurt with some plateauing ahead, and Me Group shares have trebled in several years. Is this likely to repeat again at the same rate? Personally, I doubt it. My best performer this year and over the next couple of years may be something in the lower reaches of the portfolio that's been dormant for some time, and now it's ready to have its turn in the sun. But there are other stocks that have been far less successful that I found very interesting, and I'm underwater to some tune at Titan Holdings. I called this one wrong. We've covered the AGM 3 times since we launched the Desert Island Investor, 3 separate AGMs, and I've found it as a test case, an intriguing company to follow. There have been twists and turns, comings and goings. It is a company that's been trading at a discount to its net asset value, and people have been wondering how can this be unlocked. It could have been what you could describe as a value trap up to now. It's transitioned away in the last 3 years away from founder family involvement, and I would suggest there's been a detachment from some assets that have been emotionally attached. And it's a very small company, but it's easy to understand and I can see all the moving parts. And I'm familiar with most of the leading protagonists, both on the board and among shareholders. And I would like to think that through some of my feedback and gentle pushing, that I've played a small part in some of the developments that have taken place. It is a stock where I'm interested in what will happen next in the story. Perhaps, given my circumstances and time of life and breadth of portfolio, I can indulge in my interest that some perhaps impatient money could not. Very often, A new stock in the portfolio is a favourite. It's the new and exciting, and you want to explore it. It's a bit like perhaps getting a new girlfriend. I'm sure that is why many investors flip from stock to stock. The familiarity brings boredom. And I find there is enough to keep me interested within the existing portfolio. My average holding period now is over 9 years. Against that backdrop, there is one of my relatively new holdings that I have a large affinity with, and that's MP Evans. I've only held it for 2.5 years, with Nichols, the manufacturers of Vimto, my only new addition since. For such a new position, it has quickly become my second largest holding. And this is a mixture of me adding new capital and the appreciation in the share price. My opening position was at £8.18 and it's now trading at around £13.50. I find the history of this business fascinating. It's over 150 years old and it's refashioned itself several times over the years. The 150th anniversary AGM was held at the Mansion House, and as a boy I never envisaged I'd end up there. And subsequent AGMs have been hosted at the excellent Tallow Chandler's Hall. These really do hit my weak spots. The AGMs are well attended and vibrant. There's no sense of going through the motions. You feel that the board respect and value their shareholders. And, I found the board very open and receptive and have allowed good access. And of course, I spent 4 days at their Banker plantation earlier this year. And this remains one of the best life experiences I've ever had, and I continually draw upon that. So I would be lying if I said I hadn't developed some emotional attachment, and it's something I'll have to be mindful of if there's ever a fight between head and heart. I think it's a very clear business model and I can understand, and therefore dearly hope that they remain successful as they've done over such a long period of time. There are risks as there are within any business, and I hope that I'm not presented with the difficult decision to dispense with them at any stage. Martin, I do hope I've answered that in a roundabout way. I've pitched several candidates and some broader thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you again when I'm next back down in Newmarket.
Well, that's all for this episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. Please remember the content is for information only and it is not financial advice. If you have a question for Mark for our Question in a Bottle podcast, just complete the form on our website, thedesertislandinvestor.co.uk. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.